Hi guys, it's Amy and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I do sincerely appreciate your time. As some of you may know, we are in the middle of a kitchen remodel, so my time and space and crochet time is very limited lately. We are all crammed in my little yarn area, all the living room furniture. We're having new flooring laid and then kitchen cabinets installed. So we're a little bit kind of squished in. Life is all together on top of my lap right now, but I still have a little bit of a video to share with you today. First thing is that I found a couple items that I kind of forgot that I had. When I remembered them, I was like, oh yeah, I have that. But I made executive decisions. I frogged the items completely so that I could just use the yarn on something new instead of holding out for me ever having the feeling like I want to finish that item. It's okay. Be empowered. Empower yourself to go ahead and frog that item and use the yarn for something else. So the first one that you see here, I've laughed. I've shown this to you. This is supposed to be for a 6 to 12-month-old child, and here's a picture of me wearing it. But then I did find something similar on my yarn searches somewhere, and I saw this, so I thought that was kind of cute. But to bridge the two is just going to take too much brain power. So here's what I've got after frogging that. It's a Pound of Love from Karen. No, I think it's a Lion brand. I think this one's Lion brand. I bought this so many years ago and forgot I even still had it. So I frogged that item and this is what I've got left. So quite a bit of yarn here. It's going to be repurposed to something much more admirable than getting lost in an item that's never going to get finished. The other thing that I frogged out was when I first kind of got back into my crocheting. That's not true either. When I first got back into my crocheting, I did a lot of young child things and blankets basically, and that was kind of it. And so Pamela's Adoring Crochet had, I think she called it like her essential sweater or something like that. And I had a bunch of Vanna's Choice in this gray, so I thought it would be the perfect project to work on that. And I even bought more. Here I am trying to clear out stash, and I thought, well, here's this project I want to do. And so I think I went online and bought, I think it was just these three, which is a whole new label even. See, here's my old labels. Some of you may recognize that. And then here's the new ones. So never even got to take it out of the bag. Hope the colors are close enough, kind of thing. And again, so I think the stitch, if I'm not mistaken, is a single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet. Not in the same stitch, just each next stitch is different. And I was not, at the time, I remember my frustration in trying to count my stitches and count my rows. And so even before I frogged this one, I decided, can I save it? Can I fold it? Can I make it into a purse? Or do I want to make it into a lap gown somehow? And the answer was no. So here's what frogging that gave me. I didn't weigh any of this out. I've got so much else of this yarn, so much more of this yarn anyway. So I'll just figure out something else to do with that at some other time. But my finished works that I wanted to share with you, and what my little thumbnail was all about, is I used a whole bunch of my I Love This cotton. And so I thought this was a good project to share with you guys if you have a whole bunch of cotton that you want to get rid of, or go through your stash, you know, that stash down kind of thing. I thought this was a great project. There are parts of it that worked out very easily for me, and then other parts that really kicked my behind because I have so much going on right now. I wasn't as focused as I should have been. So Amy's first issue, of course, I will link the pattern tutorial down below, and I think she does a great job. I don't remember the name off the top of my head right now. She does a great job in telling you extra stuff. A lot of times when I'm looking at a tutorial, I just need count. I just need to know how many stitches you do before you change your stitch, blah, blah, blah. But in this one, I really went through and listened to her because she talks about the different kinds of yarns that she used, and you change hooks throughout the pattern. You use 3 different hooks. So, you know, she talks about hook size changes and so forth. So this is actually one that I did listen to the entire way through the video, and I got some great tips for while I was working on this hat. It's hat. I didn't say that yet. It's a baseball hat. And I have seen, since I did this, I saw this video, and I think it was only like a year or two old, but since having looked at this video, YouTube shares like videos, and now I've got a bajillion baseball cap videos that are from a long, long, long time ago. So this gal isn't necessarily the first one to have created this project, but it's who I watched and who I felt was very helpful in my process. So that's the last one I did. I first did this one, and my thoughts for it was that I wanted to have a light color because you don't want that sun beating down on your head and making you hotter. So I was trying to really look at my lighter colors. As you can see, I've got all this maroon left. I didn't touch any of that. And this darker blue here, I really felt was kind of too dark to put into any of these. But so I can see a variegated and a solid and know that they match, or two solids. I know that those colors go together like for a normal person's vision. I know some of you are really, really good about putting colors out there, putting colors together. I know that there's a lot of Pinterest color charts and things like that that help you put colors together. But that's only half of the process, is putting the colors together. Then Amy gets to kind of freaking out about how you're going to change up the colors. Do you stripe them? Do you not stripe them? Do you count 3 rows and then 4? Like, there's way too much of that anxiety that goes on for me. So you'll see that in this one, I did 2 different, you hold 2 strands together for the brim. So that's really where the changes were, where you could kind of learn what you liked and what you didn't like about the way the color plays together. So here's one where I did, 2 different colors, and I think even one of the colors was the variegated yarn. I was trying to use up scraps, so, yeah, that kind of goes together, I guess, does it? Whatever. I think the next one that I did was then this one, because I didn't change up my colors. I just went with whatever the yarn presented to me. It's a variegated skein, and I just went. The only time I worried about changing the color specifically is on this very last row here, this pink. She has you do a slip stitch all the way around. And so it's a nice little touch. You can see the back sides there. So it's a nice little touch. But it's up to you whether you want to use a contrasting color or a matching color. So that was the only place on this hat that I chose to do any color control. The next one, again, just trying to use up some of the colors that I have. This one is called Delicate. I really enjoyed that one. And it kind of changes on its own. It's a green base, and then it's got like a yellow base. So, it's just, they were fun to make, and this part worked up really, really quickly. What my trouble came to was the brim. And on each side, you do 1 row that you increase, and then 1 row that you just do 1 count for each. And I continued to get that mixed up. So what I did do is, and here's one little tip or trick that I can help share with you, is that on the row that I did an increase, I marked the front of that stitch so that you could see when you're crocheting that there was a marker on that side. So that was an increase side. So when I was on the just 1 in each stitch side, there's no marker on that side. So that was a visual that really helped me know when was I increasing and when was I not increasing, because you can get going on something like this and just lose your place. So if anything, definitely keep attention to where you are on your brim count. That's all I have to say about that. She includes a little ponytail hole, which I thought was really, really cute. And I decided to make one. This one is the one I made without a ponytail hole. So if you don't want to put that on there, if you don't ever wear your hair in a ponytail and you just want it to fit on your head, then you can omit the skipping of those chains and just fill them in. This is a row of half double crochets, and you just keep going. So here was one. K&K mentioned one time she liked these colors. But this was one that I really thought, I did not like the way that the marbling of the 2 colors that I put together in the brim. That one I did not like at all. I like the rest of it together. I like the colors, the way the colors work together. And sometimes when you're working with a variegated that has the same color in it, you sometimes will miss some of the color work that you're trying to set up because of the variegation of the one strand. It will change the way you look. So like light blue on light blue, maybe it's not so bad right here, but like you know, if you're trying to make a row that's very different in color and then it shares a color with the solid that you use next, that can kind of throw Amy into a tizzy anyway. But here again, you can see that that this blue row is a slip stitch all the way around, and then because it's variegated, you get brown, and then here's where you lose it all together because it's the same color as the rest of the hat, the rest of that row. So, you know, just play with it. Like I always say, I love the creativity that crochet can provide you in changing up the colors that you're using. I'm not going to talk about changing up hook size whatsoever for this project. I did exactly the hook sizes that she said for this yarn. And again, she talks about different yarns to use. And then the last one that I made was kind of my favorite. I thought I wanted to do all blue, and I just had that coral that was just screaming at me to use it. So I was really, really happy in that I've got this color blue and then this color blue are two different ones. So I used that up. And I didn't want to stripe the brim necessarily, but I did want to use up the rest of this yarn, and I didn't have enough to do it by itself to double it and just use that color. So I did on this one use a mixture of the two. So for a lot of us, when you're working in the round, you're going to do a chain 3 instead of a double crochet to mean a double crochet. In this case, she teaches you how to do a chainless double crochet, and it's a little bit difficult to do if you're not familiar with it. You may get the hang of it very easily for the amount of work that it takes, and I don't think it looks beautiful every single time. So I think that you're more consistent doing a chain 3. She disagrees. That's up to you. You might get your foundation or your chainless double crochet looking better than I do. But I wanted to show it to you on the hat because I did both the foundationless, no, I keep saying that, the chainless double crochet and a chain 3. I kept intermixing them depending on how I felt at the time. So here are two of the foundationless double crochet. Can you see? It kind of looks like it's got an extra leg over here. And then here's another one. And then right above it here is a chain 3. And in my opinion, I thought it looked just fine. I don't think that it looks any better or worse. I mean, it looks any worse than the foundation, the chainless double crochet. So if that's your jam, then you go right along and do that. If not, you know, chain 3 will work just fine. So here's how cute they look. You know, there's a lot of people who hold their brim very differently, but for me, like, I don't ever wear sunglasses. So when I go outside and it's sunny, I am blinded. I am absolutely blinded. Look what an awesome sunshade that provides for you. So I really, really like it. The whole hat is made up of a V stitch all the way down, and then you just do a row of half doubles in between some singles. Ta-da! I thought that was really cute. Some of them, the color is just not right. For me, you know, everybody's going to feel a little bit differently. Position your brim a little bit. She talks about molding it a little bit. So yeah, and then I thought it was really funny. I like this one. I really like this one. I like the blues. It was the colors of my wedding. Our wedding was blue and peach, so I kind of like that together. So when people wear a baseball hat backwards, I thought that was funny. All right, guys. We're about 3 weeks out from the kitchen being finished, even started maybe. I don't know. The guy's going to kind of throw us in between other projects. So we'll see how that goes. So I'll get stuff filmed as I can. Bear with me if they're short videos or no videos at all. I appreciate your support and your encouragement to keep going. And thanks so much for sitting with me today. Have a wonderfully blessed day. And please do come back and see me again. Thank you. Bye-bye. And before I show you, it's going to be a close-up on my fingernails. It's really, really funny because, of course, with the kitchen demolition, my nails have gone to poo-pooey, and I don't have an appointment until Friday. And so they've been really, really bad. And I have this adhesive that I purchased at a vendor event. I thought I was going to try to do my own nails. And it's basically a sticker, a nail polish sticker that you lay on your fingernails. And this is just proof why Amy doesn't do her own fingernails. But here, like, I totally missed the So it's just like a sticker. It's kind of funny. Here is where I still had some gel on my finger. You can see it's all over my cuticle. And I just couldn't stand the thought. This one I've already messed up since I did it. Oh no, that was just light. Oh yeah, that's just reflection. Anyway, they're kind of funny. Look here, I didn't even, one of them I didn't even make it. And then so this was my normal nails